Good morning. I think I've really been putting this off because I've been a little bit nervous, but it is time to replace the CO2 cartridge in my Ultimate 38G West Marine inflatable PFD. And I know there are a couple kinds of PFDs. There's the kind that's manual where you pull it to inflate it, and then there's the kind with the automatic where there's a cartridge in here and a bobbin, and once water touches it, it's going to go poof and ignite and blow up. So this one's Bill's. Bill's already serviced his this morning and checked it out. The cartridges are good for about 3 years, or if you accidentally inflate them by catching this on something, or if you purposely inflate them by doing a man overboard drill or something like that. And once I open it up, I'm going to show you all the cool stuff that we've added. Here's mine. And I always use my leg straps, and the most recent thing I was using this for was pressure washing these roofs up here, and I didn't want to fall off the roof, so I used my whole harness system without the cartridge in, and strung lines, and used the tether and kept myself from falling off the roof with the leg straps. Of course, somebody told me that if I actually did fall, that the leg straps would really do some damage, possibly injure the inside of your thighs, but my plan was just not to fall off the roof at all, or if I did, was just to slide a bit, but not actually like dangle from the roof. Anyway, on to the part that I keep putting off, which is replacing the whole cartridge system. This PFD has an interesting, it's a patented type of a zipper that can undo on its own. So see, I can just go like that and undo without unzipping. Of course, that means later on I will have to zip it for real, but just to show you how easily that all opens up. There is a little zippered section over on this side that has a little hook. It's not much of a hook, it's a plastic hook, but it would be enough that if you had something in there and you left it zipped, that would stay. So that part just stays. And there's another zippered part on the back that you can completely close, but that's where you store these leg straps in when you're not using them. They unhook from the front, but you could store something in there if you need to. You couldn't get to it if it was behind you. But so anyway, this is my fantastic PFD, and the things that I really like about it are that it has these reflective bits that would be highly visible once it deployed. This, I think, is to keep that whole unit from flopping around, and it shows that this has a 38-gram CO2 cartridge. I know some of them are 33s, some of them are 22s, I believe, and this actually shows a 38. So I'm excited about filming this video for you because I've never replaced the cartridge before. Right now you can see that the cartridge is out because I deployed it already. This little section right here, this is all added. All this part is what Bill added for me, which is an automatic light with a strobe. It's water activated, or you can turn it on to activate it. And I have it turned this way toward the self-inflator so that it doesn't accidentally get pushed and turned on. The self-inflator, if you invert this cap, you can deflate. I've already deflated, so no need for that. And there's a whistle here. And then over on this side, there's a pouch in here, and I have got a Sealume stick. We don't buy these anymore, but we still have some. We now have gone, for diving, we've gone to something more like this light that's an automatic turn-on light that can be used over and over and over. And I have a mirror. If you've never looked at the instructions on how to use that, very interesting. I'll save that for another video. So that just tucks in there. And I'm always joking that I have enough room in here for a banana and a Slim Jim and a Cliff Bar and all this type of things. But back over here, this is the part that we're going to be working on now, which is figuring out how to put the bobbin in on my life jacket, because there's a bobbin. I remember the old ones had some sort of like a little capsule that would melt in the water, which would allow a pin to shoot out, which would puncture the CO2 cartridge, which would make it inflate. So I'm going to be learning about how the bobbin on mine works and where it goes. So first I'm just going to unscrew and take a peek in this section, and there's where that bobbin is. And I've looked at some different things, and some of them say that the bobbin goes one way and some say the bobbin goes another way. And I'm not even completely sure how you get it to fall out. but I definitely want it to fall back out. Some of them say that you put the white bit that is the water soluble bit toward the bottom, and some say the white bit toward the top. And I'm paying very close attention. The lettering on it is facing upright with the pin down, so that's how I need to do it. And if you look at this bobbin, you see how there's no more of the water soluble bit. That's because I've been in the water with this jacket. So that's going to go with the numbers up. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and hold this and not forget about it. I got 2 sets of these, and mine uses the S2. If you're ordering on Amazon, and I'll leave a link for these below, I ordered them once on Amazon, got the wrong thing. Warning, if you get the wrong thing, you can't ship it back because it's CO2. They won't allow you to put it back in the mail. They can mail it to you, but you can't mail it back. So I'm stuck with those. So if anybody needs the one that's an S and not an S2, I have a spare. But you want the S2. I did order these from West Marine, and I had to pay shipping. I think I used the ASA discount on them, which is like 10 or 15%. I'll leave a link for that below. If you're an ASA member, American Sailing member, then you can use that discount, which is good. But even so, once combined with shipping, the 2 of these set me back $80. So even though they're about $33 each, by the time you pay for everything else, it adds up. So you don't want to waste these for sure. And I'm making sure there's a bobbin in there. These are made by a company called Leland, and I have, like I said, I found them on eBay, I found them on Amazon. The problem is finding the one that's the S2. So if you have an inflatable PFD, just make sure that you've got the absolute right cartridge before you go ordering any. And this one has a 1/2 inch thread. Some of them have a 1/4 inch thread or an 1/8 inch thread. Make sure the thread is the correct amount, okay, because that will definitely set you off. And then the yellow bobbin, some have green bobbins, some have yellow. I think I've seen blue. So you've got to check every last aspect of this before you order it, because like I said, you'll be stuck with one that you then can't send to anybody else. All right, there's a diagram in here that's showing exactly how everything goes back together. Unpack or open the life vest, remove the CO2 card cylinder. I had already removed the old one. Discard it. It doesn't say where to discard it, so I'm still looking to see, can I put it in the recycling or what do I do with it? Remove the cap by turning clockwise. Bobbin, housing shoulder, service indicator. All right, remove the bobbin and discard it. Check the housing, make sure it's clear and dry. So we want to look in here and make sure it's clear. I'm looking for like salt crystals, anything like that, because I did do my man overboard practice in salt water, and that's not what shot off my cylinder. What shot off my cylinder was when I reinserted it after the man overboard practice. The bobbin had already deployed, so the cartridge went poof. Bobbin may remain in the housing when you remove the cap. Body must be removed prior to rearming. A new bobbin must be used. New bobbin must have been purchased within 3 years. If bobbin purchase date is unknown, check the date on the bobbin. Replace it if over 3 years. Must be installed in the housing white side up. Okay, so mine is different. It's a white side up. I've seen some that are white side down. It will slide in easily if installed correctly. Okay, and then install the cap by screwing clockwise. No gap between the cap and housing. Check the new cylinder. Make sure it's not punctured. Install bobbin and cap before the new cylinder. If green, it's operable. If red, stop and service unit. Okay. All right, so I've got the bobbin, got the white part. I see the date on this one is January 2026, and I'm going to insert it up into that little housing, and it said it will go easily if I'm doing it correctly, but the other one did not come out easily. So I'm wondering how easy they mean by easy. Okay, I'm going to retest the other one. I'm just going to look and make sure that they look exactly the same. They do have wider troughs on one side and narrow on the other, so I think that's what I'm going to have to line up. Hello. So now that this one's been deployed, it fits on there very easily. But I've got to fit the one that hasn't been deployed on there. It does not go on there easily. Oh, you know what? I think they're not really saying this, but once it's been deployed, it's going to slide up in there, and now it's not necessarily going to, so I'm actually okay. This is the learning part. This is definitely the learning part. Alright, so this is definitely the old one. I'm setting that aside. I've got the new one here. Okay, lots of turns. Okay. It's in there. Still showing red right here. I'm going to look at Bill's for comparison to see how his looks. Okay, the bottom of his bobbin housing is green. The bottom of my bobbin housing is red, which means it's not correct. So I'm going to take it out. Okay, I can push this up, like when it's not pulled. I can pull it down, but it acts like I'm never going to get to see green. Why am I not going to see green? Some of these PFDs have an indicator that you have to replace, and the indicator goes here and it pops off when you're done, when you've deployed it. There is nothing green in here to ever show green, unless the green is in this part. I'm now completely befuddled. See where this fits in exactly. You can help me? You can help me? I see where that fits in exactly. I see where this fits in exactly. I see how this screws in. This allows the water to come in and activate the powdery stuff that falls apart. I'm screwing all the way in. Oh, it's almost like it has to hook up into there to get to the green. But what allows it to hook up like that? What would allow it to go further up? If the bobbin fit further up in there, it would possibly go up. It doesn't go there. I have a feeling that once you screw the cylinder on, there's this lever that goes across, and once you screw the cylinder on, that's when we're going to see green. Prematurely concerned that I was doing it wrong. I just want to get it right, and I don't want to accidentally blow it up. Like, I don't want to put the cylinder in there and then it goes poof. And here's this thing. I see a little tiny gasket down here, and I'm wondering if this little tiny gasket is supposed to be level, because it's not. So I'm just going to take my Marlin spike and reseat it. Alright, here's the $40 experiment. I'm going to check one more time. Remove the bobbin. Discard the bobbin. Check the housing. The bobbin may remain in the housing or cap assembly when you remove the cap. The bobbin body must be removed prior to rearming. Rearming must follow the sequence below. A new bobbin must be used. New bobbin must have been purchased within 3 years. The bobbin must be installed into the housing white side up, aligning the slots on the bobbin with the ridges inside the threaded housing. The bobbin will slide in easily if installed correctly. Install cap by screwing clockwise until it meets the housing shoulder. I have done that. No gap between the cap and housing shoulder. No gap. Check the new cylinder to make sure it is not punctured. Install the bobbin and cap before installing a new cylinder. So bobbin first. Then install the new cylinder by engaging the cylinder threads with the inflator threads. Turn the cylinder clockwise until a firm seal is achieved. PFD will only inflate if cylinders turn to full stop. Be sure to check that the service indicator is green. Okay, they don't exactly say it's not going to turn green until you put this in. Alright, this is the Leland 38 gram, do not heat. Alright, $40 question is, when I thread this in, is it going to push this lever down here until I see green right there? It does. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so there's the red turn, there's the green. There's the red, that final turn, there's the green. So it's just a tiny little bit that rocks this lever down there, and once that lever down there rocks, it fits. Oh my gosh. Only I could make this confusing and difficult, right? Although one of my sailing school students said the first time that she rearmed hers, she did set it off, so maybe she just wasn't aware that there was a cylinder underneath there. I'm not really sure. Okay, the next step is simply to put the whole thing back together, which is not that difficult. Alright, so now all I need to do is zip it all back up, which means first I've got to zip all the way around so that I can zip it for real, which is what I was saying when I popped it open, just using the zipper, the interesting patented open zipper clause. I knew I was going to have to zip back around to do this. I am at the end and the ends are not matching up. Oh, that's because I've tucked one of them in. Okay, I'm just going to make sure, you know how at the bottom of your jacket when you have to put the one into the other, I'm just going to make sure that they are completely, that the teeth are in the right order, and they are. And then what I want to do is I want to zip a little bit, and then I'm going to tuck, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but there's the tail end that sticks out, and that's kind of messy and can catch on things. So I'm tucking it into the hole that the little skinny thread goes through. It requires me putting my finger on the inside. I can make a little bit of space. I'm gonna have to unzip a little. Okay, if I unzip a little bit and then tuck it in there, I just want it to be super, super neat. Okay, so I pulled it through from the inside. Now it's gonna be the difficult part, is because it's fat, there we go, getting it going. Oh, and it popped out again. I really want the ends of that zipper in there because I don't want them chafing on things, and I don't want it to accidentally completely unzip while I'm wearing it. And of course I don't want to pull the string, because you know what happens if you pull the string. The whole thing goes poof and inflates. Yay! Alright, I got it. Okay, and then I'm going to tuck the thing that says jerk. I'm going to tuck the little tab up in there a little bit also. The way you're supposed to wrap this is so that you can actually see this green in the window, and mine has a habit of slipping down a little bit, so I'm just going to zip it and move it. I am going to cover the cylinder with the cloth just so that the cylinder's not rubbing on the outside or the inside of the cloth. It's really not this difficult. I'm just making it look difficult. Okay, and see what I'm saying? There's a window here that you're supposed to be able to see, but the cartridge is heavy, so it's always flopping down a little bit. Now it's just a matter of re-zipping and make sure that that Velcro is really attached, or else that automatic unzipper zipper is going to go. And I think they have a name for it. It's patented, but I forget what they call it. The surprise zipper. And repacking is pretty easy. Just like a sail, I try not to fold it in exactly the same place every single time because I don't want it to keep wearing the same way. And I'll have to say, I'm really pleased with this jacket. Can I call it a jacket with this inflatable PFD? I have worn it all summer when it's really, really hot out. I mean, really hot. And it's not been that bad. So I'm pleased about that. Now when I get down to this end, it's the same thing. I've got these tabs for the zipper, and once you zip, then you have to figure out, do you really want this hanging, or can you tuck it in there? And I'm going to try and do something to tuck it in. So first I'm going to tuck in the ends, and then I'm just going to zip, and that's all I can do, is just, the zipper's still there, it's still on the outside, but hopefully won't catch on anything. Alright, so I've got this folded in such a way that I should be able to see, but I still can't see the cartridge in there. This window is just a little bit too low. I'm trying to move everything around. I'm probably turning that flashlight on accidentally, aren't I? And the battery on it's going to be dead. It's just a little bit difficult. There's not enough room on this line for you to get the cartridge in the window and this sticking out the bottom. If I push the cartridge up any more, I'm going to be deploying the whole thing and I can't see it through the window. So I just have to kind of peek and know that it's down there. The way these work, the leg straps, is the legs just, they click off like that. Click in, like so. So you can wear it with or without the legs. I always wear it with the legs, just because if it inflates, I don't want it coming up off of me. And of course it looks kind of funny when I go to put it on. I try and look smooth when I do this. I step one foot in here, I twirl it around, I look down, kick the other foot into there. One day I'm going to have a contest where we see how quickly everybody can get these on. All right. So here's what I've got. And this one is set up to fit me. I'm never sure what to do with the extra part on these leg straps, but I do like having the leg straps because I definitely don't want to fall off the boat and then just have this flip on off of me. Bill and I chose the ones with the softer eyes right here so that when we hook our harness up to it, it's not clicking and clanging on things on the boat. We're really careful about not scratching the boat. And I'll show you the tether that I have. It's my Vanguard first aid kit, stays on top in my bag. We had originally wanted to have just the single strap tethers, and they were out of them at West Marine, so we ended up with the double straps, and it's actually really great. I just always had kind of figured, well, if we're going to be doing a lot of offshore sailing, I'll just buy a second tether. But this works out pretty good because you simply take that first hook, hook it on right there, and now I can kind of belay myself. I can click into something here and then move this across and then scooch along and then click over and click over. You can kind of work yourself like that. You know what I mean? You can work yourself like that. The clasp on these is absolutely ingenious. There's a part that you push in order to open up the hook, so it doesn't ever accidentally just open. You actually have to put some pressure on it. Like if I just try and open it like that, it does not open. You actually have to press here in order for it to open. So that's really nice. So anyway, I am secretly very relieved that I have rearmed my PFD without setting it off again. And now I know that the error that I made last time was I had removed the cartridge in order to do a man overboard practice because I didn't want to actually inflate. But when I did the man overboard practice, I didn't pull the bobbin out, and because I didn't pull the bobbin out, it got wet. So then the next time that I screwed the cartridge back in, the whole thing inflated. So beginner's mistake for sure. Now I know, and now you know, so you can save yourself a $40. I'm not really sure how long I know it said that bobbin's good for 3 years. They didn't really say how long the cartridge is good for, the actual CO2 cartridge. I'm not sure about that. I would imagine that the worst of it would be that bobbin. Okay, these expire January of 2026. So what I'm going to do right now, as soon as I get off the video with you, I'm going to program this into my cell phone to give me a reminder, December of 2026, to go ahead and order another one just in case I've already used this one up. But this is a spare. I think it's always good to have spares of things. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you not make the mistake I made, which was, of course, inflating my PFD. And in the next video, I think I'm going to be showing you a whole kitchen closet makeover. I know, it's a total leap, but I probably need to come back and run you back through what type of first aid gear to carry with you on the boat. And this is a kit that I carry with me. Every boat I step on, this is with me. So I'll go through the contents of this because this is pretty important. And I'll do a what's in my sailing bag, because you might be surprised at some of the things that are in here. And that'll be some of the upcoming content. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this. And leave any comments below if you have any questions or comments, ways that I could do this better, or anything that you'd like to see in an upcoming video. I really appreciate you subscribing to my vlog. Oh my gosh, I did it. I finally did it. Learned how to replace the cartridge. Doesn't seem like it should be a big deal, but at $40 a pop, I was really worried. Thanks for watching. Bye.